I'm Marciel Hopkins. I'm a South African model, currently a TV presenter, a life coach, and an inspirational speaker. My journey in the entertainment industry started in 2015 when I decided to enter Miss South Africa after losing 14 kilograms in 4 months. It was a lot because I was never the naturally skinny girl.
Me neither.
And after that, I just realized I can't maintain this very strict lifestyle of training 2 to 3 hours a day, not enjoying a glass of champagne with my friends anymore. And then I became a curvy model. So I fluctuate between a 12 and a 14 now, and there was just a gap in the market. And I booked my first modeling job in Germany, in Hamburg, of all places. So for a South African girl to receive her first paycheck in euro was a massive bonus. It was kind of unheard of in my frame of reference. And that's where I started talking about body positivity and just sharing my story when it comes to self-love, body acceptance, because it was a really hard road I had to walk to get to where I am now, to be fully confident and comfortable in my own skin, because I always believed because I was a more curvy girl, I wasn't good enough or beautiful enough. And I think Miss South Africa was a big thing for me to just tick off and go, you are beautiful enough. You don't have to prove that to anyone.
You're absolutely stunning.
Thank you. And now I am a TV presenter in South Africa. I'm working on BoerSoek'nVrou. If it translates to Farmer Searches for Wife. I know there are European versions of it. So we're in the process of shooting the TV show, which is very exciting. It's airing in January. So we're working hard on getting all the content and obviously finding the farmers' big loves of their lives. And I just saw before this live that a farmer from last season got engaged today, and it's a girl that he met on the show.
No!
So, it's very exciting. There's really amazing success stories when it comes to BoerSoek'nVrou in the South African context. And then I have my honors degree in psychology. So from there, I also studied life coaching for 2 years. So that's also what I do. And then the inspirational speaking comes in with my whole body positive journey and just inspiring women with embracing self-love, embracing their bodies, realizing that we can't compare ourselves to other women and that bodies look different when they are healthy. We can't box beauty and what is healthy and sexy in one shape or size. So yeah, that's me in a little nutshell.
When did you decide you were going to accept your body for the way that it is?
So my Miss South Africa journey was 11 months. So it was almost a year of my life where I describe it as my body became my enemy. Food and my body. I was in constant... it was almost like I was fighting a war against myself and food, and every time I had to eat was such an issue and a, like stressful experience. And after those 11 months, I just realized I can't do this. I can't keep doing this to myself. My period stopped for 9 months during that time because my body was under such stress. And I always say if my body is a little rubber ball, I tried to squash it, and it wasn't where it naturally wanted to be and where it would be happy. And the moment I released after the competition, it just went back to its natural, happy shape and size. And I just realized for myself in the long term, I can't keep doing this to myself, to constantly be on a diet. And I think the worst thing was the criticism, not what the world gave me, what I gave to myself, like my self-talk when I would stand in front of the mirror. I would never have something positive to say, although I was the smallest and in the best shape I would probably ever be, I was still not happy, because it's a very dangerous cycle you can embark on in terms of when is good enough ever good enough, because you can always be skinnier or have less cellulite or have more beautiful skin. I mean, you must get to a point where you make a very conscious decision that I will choose from here on now, I'm going to walk in self-acceptance. And I think self-love actually comes first. Because I always thought it was the other way around, but you must first really like and love yourself, and from that place you can operate to embark on a journey of self-acceptance. And that's definitely not a destination. I think for women and men, I think, yeah, that's a topic for another day, but men also struggle with self-acceptance. But it's never going to be a place where one day you wake up and go, now I'm okay with myself, I'm never going to have issues again. It's unfortunately decisions you have to make every single day of your life, in terms of, I'm not going to sit in self-criticism. Because if you start with that, you can go into very dark places, because the thoughts continually follow on one another. Oh, my bum looks big. Oh, I can't wear these jeans. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve a boyfriend. Oh, I'm a failure. And then you end up in a very dark place. So where self-love comes in for me is just to catch those thoughts and manage them and go, I'm not having a good day, but I'm going to sit in self-love and make choices that will be good for me, and not go onto the dark and very scary road sometimes, because you're very much alone when you go into those dark places. So the advice I can give is to get to a place in your life where it's good to have goals, and it's good to aspire to be healthy and fit and strong, have those goals. But where you are today, where you're sitting listening to this live, where you're sitting tomorrow in a week's time, this is what you have at the moment. So make the best of what you have at the moment. And I think the big shift also came in for me is to not focus on how I look so much, because we're so obsessed with how we look. And it had to change for me to, how do I feel in my own body? Do I feel healthy? Do I feel confident? Why am I then, if I do feel healthy and confident, why am I then so obsessed with losing weight if I'm perfectly healthy, if I can gym, if I can live a full life? So I also think if we shift that perspective, it will also help with not being so obsessed with how we look from the outside.
This goes with anything, I genuinely believe that, self-love is the most important, right? Happiness comes from within, and then everything else comes into place. Like, for example, there are many women that think, right, I need a man and I need to get married, because once I'm married, then I'm going to be happy. And then everything's going to be falling into place, and I'm going to have my house and I'm going to have my children, and that's when I'm going to be happy. But what you don't understand is that you've got to be happy now, right? Not then, because that's not really how it works. Like, life is just moments that huddle together to be able to create life, and all of a sudden it becomes memories and so forth. So I 100% agree with you. I think, like, for example, I'm 36 years of age and I'm single, I'm not married, I don't have any children, but Marciel, I'll tell you, I am the happiest I have ever been in my life. And that is because I have invested so much into myself, right? So what happens when you self-invest is that your confidence grows, your business grows, your friends grow, the love you have for your family grows, because it's literally like, it's like this ball that just, like, all of a sudden just, gets bigger and bigger and bigger in the right way, rather than the negative way, which what you were saying when you say, right, I feel fat, I feel this, I'm not good enough, now I don't have a boyfriend, no one's going to marry me. And then it gets, so if you start investing in yourself, it goes the opposite way. Would you agree?
Exactly. It makes me a bit emotional when I hear that other women are thriving and happy, because there's so many women out there that's really withholding themselves from so many opportunities because they think they're not good enough. And so often it's linked to how they think they look from the outside. And meanwhile, they're highly intelligent, capable, they're so allowed to love themselves and to thrive in life. But it's very often the decisions we make ourselves that limit us from moving forward.
Exactly. But with you, obviously, you had a moment. Obviously, you're saying that you were one of these women, but something happened, because now you're presenting, you're here, you're there, and everyone, you broke those barriers. So tell me about the presenting world. What is it like? What is it like to be Marciel and be recognized in the roads, in the streets, when you go to the shop? What is it like?
So the show is only airing in January, so I think people will recognize me more when the show airs. But there's a lot of excitement around it already. And I think when I entered Miss South Africa, one of the dreams I had was building a little bit of a platform for myself, because in South Africa, and I think in any country, it kind of helps if you already have a bit of a presence in the industry if you want to be a presenter. And I always dreamed about presenting. So I studied drama before my honors in psychology, and my final project was media, because I was more interested in being a presenter and working in radio and TV than really being an actress. So I auditioned for this show 2 years ago, and I didn't get it. And obviously we are so disappointed, and we doubt ourselves, and we think, oh my goodness, I wasn't good enough. But I mean, I moved on, and then 2 years later they asked me to audition again, and I got it. So I think a big learning curve for me was also, you know, we sometimes upset because things doesn't happen for us right now, and we feel that the work we do, we must immediately reap the benefits from what we do. But sometimes we need to grow, and things need to progress before we're really ready. And the 2 years of me studying life coaching, I think, fully equipped me to really be a good TV presenter for the show, because it's actually way more people skills with this specific show than really presenting. Because the biggest bulk of my job is to have conversations with people and talk about love and emotions. And I mean, people get voted off and they're heartbroken, so you must be able to contain that for people. So it's actually more people skills than really presenting. So it's been challenging, but I've learned so much with the shoot process so far. I'm excited, but I'm not perfect. I'm not doing it perfectly. I'm making mistakes, but I'm learning. And I mean, that's what it's all about. I didn't expect to be perfect, but sometimes you want to kick yourself and go, oh my goodness, you shouldn't have said that, or you should have done it differently. But how else are we supposed to learn than by making mistakes?
It's so true. And, you know, us humans can be very impatient, and you know, we have an idea, we want to do something, and we want it to be like now, exploded, done, you know, and it doesn't really work like that. Like, I have a masterclass that I do for free, and it is called Start Your Own Business. And the thing is about start your own business is that anyone can start a business, right? You just register it, do a couple of business cards, do a website, and then people are like, I think I'm in business. And it doesn't really actually work like that. You know, you really have to ensure that your mindset and, you know, that you have a strategy in place, that you know your industry, that you know your research, that you know your legal side of things. And all of that, you won't just learn it in one day. You have to kind of earn as you learn. And, you know, life brings you experiences, and through those experiences you evolve, and some experiences will hurt and they'll be painful, but they are needed. And I am grateful for things that have made me upset, that have made me cry, that, you know, where I've fallen over, because, you know, without it, you know, you can't grow. And this is a lot the problem with some people, is that they're too afraid. They're too afraid to cry, they're too afraid to feel, they're too afraid to get rejected, to say no to. But wouldn't you say that you should just jump and go for it?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that holds us back is what other people might think, or how much other people perceive my failures. I mean, a lot of people look at failures as learning curves. I mean, it doesn't even have to be defined as failures. So it's hard, because unfortunately we do compare ourselves to others, and we do, it's so human to be concerned with what other people might think of us. But I think for myself, when I feel those fears creeping in, I realize I need to switch off the noise from outside. Whenever I need to make a daring decision, and kind of just spend a bit of time with myself and do a bit of introspection and go, why? I mean, that's the life coach in me coming on. Why are you scared to do this? What is withholding you? What is the worst thing that can happen? I think that's such a good question to ask, because sometimes if we actually unpack what's the worst thing that can happen, it's really not that bad. So it's good to voice that very often, go, oh, well, if that's the worst thing, I'll still be okay. Life will go on. People will forget. And I think what is very important, I had a coffee with a previous Miss South Africa finalist while I was preparing for the competition. And I asked her, like, but weren't you stressed like the night before? I mean, you're in a bikini on national TV. And she said such a powerful thing. And she said, you know what I realized? I'm not going to give myself so much credit that people are going to think about me in my bikini tomorrow still, because people will think about their own lives.
It's so true.
It's done. They're going to think about, what are they going to eat tonight? When do they need to wake up tomorrow? Am I going to gym or not? People think about themselves. So I think we give ourselves too much credit that people will be thinking about us. Because, I mean, if I had a coffee with someone, I might think about it for a while, and then I go back to what must I still do today? What am I going to buy for dinner? So whenever we are numbed by fear, to just realize people are maybe going to think about it for a few minutes, and then they're going to move on, and then they're not going to remember your failure. So if that's the thing that's holding you back, it should really be something that you must mindfully put to the side and go for what you want.
Guys, we all think a little bit too much about ourselves because, to be fair, I think we've just tapped into a secret. No one actually cares. So just do your thing, enjoy it, make your mistakes, do whatever it is that you're on your journey. It's your path at the end of the day. And you can't compare your path to someone else, because you could be on Z and they could be on B and the other person could be on C. It's just the way life goes, right? So, but I love that. Like, come on, guys. People don't care that much. Like, take it easy. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? I'm going to actually tell myself that as well when I'm freaking out about something, and be like, Joe, it's cool. You know, even if you make a mistake, no one's going to hold you to it. So I love that. But who your mentors were? Tell me, you know, who you look up to, what your favorite book is.
So mentors are both South African women, which I really look up to, and I had the wonderful opportunity to meet them and have coffees with them. So the one is Tanya van Graan. She's been in the industry for years in South Africa as a model and an actress, and I just phone her whenever I have doubts about the industry, especially as a new model in 2016. You don't always know what to do when interesting things come up, and it's just so great to bounce ideas off someone that has the experience, because I can phone my mom and she's amazing, but she doesn't have that kind of experience to guide me when it comes to certain challenges when it comes to the industry. And then the other one is Anna Mart van der Merwe. She's an Afrikaans actress, and she's a legend in South Africa. And I had the privilege to meet her and have coffee with her. And I think one of the most important things she said to me was, in your off seasons, when a lot of creatives are very down, and even with business, when business are slow and things are not happening, you must use that time to prepare. Don't sit and sulk because the jobs are not coming in and you're not booking a role. Keep your mind busy. You know, for an actress, for example, keep reading scripts, keep fit, keep working on your accents, be prepared. So for when that role comes in, you're ready. And I think you can use that for all other examples in business, whatever you're doing. So don't go sit in a little corner when things are not going your way. Think of other ways and strategies to prepare for when things do get busy. Because it doesn't help if they actually phone you for the role and now you're not prepared. So, for example, I'm working on my American accent throughout the whole lockdown. I've still continued with my acting classes because it's something I want to focus on, but I need to work in my off time to be able to audition by December, January, when hopefully people can travel again. We'll have to see about that. So those are the mentors. And then my favorite book would probably be Redeeming Love from Francine Rivers. It's a love story, but I'm not a hopeless romantic. I think the book is the book is more about hope and second chances in life. And even when everything in your life goes wrong, there's still hope for you to have a beautiful life. So I think that's what stands out for me about the story.
So you're not a hopeless romantic?
No, I think I'm a bit too career orientated to get too swept away by love, but I have an amazing partner and he supports me in everything I do. He allows me to travel. He kind of encourages me to do it, to say, go see the world, go do what you want to do. So I think it's very important that you choose a partner for yourself that gives you momentum and that doesn't hold you back in life. And he definitely gives me momentum.
What advice would you give to your younger self if you could?
I think for so long I was focused, especially as a high school girl, how can I change myself to be cooler and more popular and to be more liked? And in the process, you lose your own magic. So if I could give my younger self advice, it was just stick to who you are. Stick to your dreams and goals. I never thought I would be where I am today. If you told the 16-year-old Marciel you're going to be a TV presenter and you're going to be a model that travels internationally, I would never have believed you. But I think just making decisions every single day that will get you closer to your goals. That's so important. And if I think back on, I did do it, I just so often didn't really believe in myself. So I would say to myself, stick to your own magic.
If you had a magic wand and you could change one thing in the world, what would it be and why?
So many things that goes through my head. The obvious one would probably be to, you know, like for COVID-19 to disappear. But I think that's even more pressing on my heart at the moment is the extreme violence that's happening in South Africa at the moment. You know, our women and kids are in real danger at the moment. Our farmers are being murdered. So it's really something that upsets me deeply, especially me growing up on a farm until I was 13, being a woman in this country, being scared when I have to go to a shop at night. So if I had a magic wand, that's the one thing I would really change, is the violence and cruelty in South Africa.
You know, I've interviewed quite a lot of people from South Africa because I have two incredible ambassadors that are based in South Africa. And we've had Nicole Bezic. Yesterday we had Harmony from South Africa. We've had literally so many. And every single one of them says the same thing. We also had Quinn Brown. I think she does famous soap there. So everyone has said exactly the same thing, and it's just so devastating that this is the situation in South Africa, that you can't even go to the shop without feeling scared. And this is when I feel like I really wish I did have a magic wand, but sadly, you know, it isn't the case, and these are actual real problems that, you know, we're having to deal with. But I just want to say, Marciel, because I know the reception's going again. On
my side, you're completely clear. So I think if it saves on my side, it will probably be very clear.
Oh, I hope so. I just want to say thank you so much for your time and for accepting this invitation for me to interview you, because I know you're busy, and I really, really appreciate it so very much.
Thank you so much. And whenever I come to the UK again, I'd love to meet up with you. I've actually been in the UK for the last 4 years, every year. So it will be the first year that I can't be there. But whenever I come again, I'd love to meet you for a coffee.
Absolutely. Of course, we're going to have some dinner and some cocktails for sure. I would love, 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 love to see you so very much. But once again, thank you. And if you can save the video, I would very much appreciate it.
I'll try my best. I will.
So you just press, when you press end, it will say to you, share on IGTV or, or save video.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.